Hello. I've just come in from work and it was a long day, but it wasn't bad or anything, it was fine. Although, unfortunately, I only thought right towards the end, like in the last hour, to look up whether the book I'm currently reading physically, the Where Rainbows End, whether or not that existed on my library app, and it does. So at least for the last hour I had some entertainment before we had a big period in the middle of the day where I had not really very much to do, and it would have been good to have it then, but it's fine. Sorry, I'm just unpacking my shopping. But I finished work, I would say about 20 minutes later than usual, which isn't so significant, but it is when the clocks have changed and it is pitch black when I'm leaving work. I mean, it is fine, but it was noticeable. I didn't get to chat to you anymore about yesterday. Oh my gosh. So yesterday I had this wonderful, wonderful time for hours with my friends, and then I got home, I ate my egg on toast, and then we watched one episode of Wednesday, and I was like, even towards the end of Wednesday, I was struggling to keep my eyes open. I was so tired, and I literally, like, we finished Wednesday, I closed my eyes and I fell asleep, and Wayne had to wake me up because I needed to do something. I mean, it was only like 20 minutes later. I thought I'd been asleep for hours, but it was only 20 minutes later. And I said to him, it's so funny because I felt so rejuvenated from seeing my friends. I felt like, I am introverted, but my soul just felt so good for having been with them. And I'd said that to him when we walked in, and I said, it's so funny that, you know, I thought it was so good for me, but actually, like, wow, I am exhausted from it. And sure, maybe that's the case. Maybe I was exhausted from it. But what I only realized this morning was obviously the clocks went back, and then in the morning I'd woken up at my regular time, so an hour earlier than I normally did, or normally do, and therefore I must have just still been on like almost jet lagged, if you will. Sorry, it's very warm now. So basically I think I'm jet lagged because this morning again, oh my gosh, I woke up so early. I think it was like 5:45, maybe 6, and I told myself, no, I'm gonna go back to sleep. I've got enough time. And I tried, and I did like somewhat fall asleep, but it was very, very, very light. I really struggled. And then I still ended up waking up earlier than I'd initially planned to. So I'm a little bit concerned that I'm on this backwards schedule, which is theoretically fine. Like, actually it doesn't make a difference if I just, you know, go to bed an hour earlier and wake up an hour earlier. But I have a lot I want to get done tonight, a lot. And realistically, a lot of those tasks are, once again, like very, very small tasks and won't take that long. There's one thing I need to do, which I need to do for half an hour, completely focused work, no distractions, nothing else. I want to cook, which will take at least half an hour. I also want to try and meal prep, which will probably take another half hour. So that's already an hour and a half, and I don't know if I said before, but it's almost 7. Plus then I want to do all the small tasks. So I'm probably not going to get round to everything that I want to do this evening, and then I don't really have time the next few days. But none of it's urgent, so like, we'll manage. But yeah, suddenly it's all snuck up on me. But it's fine, it really is fine. I think I'm going to start with that first half hour task and just try and smash it out so that while I'm, you know, still somewhat awake and not yet given up on energy. Because then while I'm cooking and stuff, I can have distractions and, you know, I can do other things. So I'm going to get on with that, and I'm going to try and not speak to you again until things are a bit more organised and sorted. But I will see you some point later on this evening. Yay! Okay, so I've done the big half hour task, which actually ended up being 45 minutes, but I'm getting paid for it because it's part of work, so that's fine. And it wasn't as hard or complicated as I was worried it would be, and I've made clear notes so that hopefully in future it won't take as long. But I've now started cooking, and I just want to show you my setup because there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of like trying to time things right and planning it and all that. So in the oven, I've put in some chips. They've only just gone in, so they still need quite a while. I've got some onion ready to be chopped to have that with spinach. I've got the bulgur wheat on. I was going to go for something else, but this only takes 10 minutes and I've not had bulgur wheat. Oh, wow, I can't speak. I've not had bulgur wheat in a long time. So we're going for this for the meal prep. So that should be done in about 8 minutes, I think. And then once that's done, we can use the second pan. So one of these pans is going to be for spinach. The other pan is going to be for the leftover vegetarian kebab. And then that's our space. I'm watching Riley Autumn. I've got my plate ready over there. I've got the sieve ready over there. I've got the bowl ready for the spinach. I've got a whole setup going on. And I got myself a little treat today. I got some apple juice. I am through and through an orange juice drinker. I do like apple juice, but my preference will always be orange juice. But to be honest, this one was cheaper, so that's why I went for it. But I had a glass while I was doing the work and I quite liked it. It's a nice change, you know? And I wasn't gonna get myself anything, and then I walked past all the juices, and there were some that looked so good and I would have happily got them. They were like smoothies and stuff, but they were so much more expensive. So I went for the cheapest one on the shelf, and as I say, it has made me happy so far, so I'll take it. You can't see it properly, but the desk behind me is also a mess. There's just a lot happening, but now that I've done step 1 and I'm in the process of like step 2, 3, 4 and 5, I feel like it's actually all gonna be okay and a lot easier than I was anticipating. It is cold again, and I'm refusing to put on the heating because I'm cooking, and I'm like, it's gotta warm up the flat, like, you know, with the oven on and the stove tops and stuff, so I'm relying on that. But if it's still cold when I've finished eating, I will put on the heating. I also am very tempted to put on my candle, but I'm not gonna do it yet because Wayne's not gonna be home for a while and I don't want him to be sad. But again, maybe after supper I might switch it on. We need to buy another one. I am flying through this one. Oh no, I told you already about the ebook. So that is, I think, all the news for now. I will share it when I'm a bit further along with everything. Sorry, I'm rubbing my hands because they're cold. But yeah, this is good. I also want to get into pajamas because I just want to get cozy and warm and snug. Yay! I'm so awkward. I always finish my clips with a yay. I'm just very happy. Okay, we're almost there. Let me show you the update. Most of the bulgur wheat is in there training. As you can see, I missed a little bit. It was hard to like get this sorted, which is why I've got more in another Tupperware somewhere. This is my spinach ready to eat. I didn't time everything perfectly, so I'm going to start eating that while the rest cooks. This is, I'm just heating this up, and I don't really know when it'll be ready, because I don't know how to tell, but I'm just stirring it and hoping for the best. There's the rest of the bulgur wheat, and then the chips are practically done, I think, but I don't mind them being a bit more crispy. So I'm giving them a little bit longer while I wait for this to finish up. Even though like there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot just we don't have a lot of space for, actually this is going a lot more smooth than I was expecting overall. So that's good. Spinach has been had, but there's the rest of the meal with my apple juice, mayonnaise and ketchup. Riley Autumn, let's do it. Okay, food was very good, and now I'm sort of busy with the meal prep element of things. I've got all my Tupperwares, my many Tupperwares. This one's extra full because this is like the spare. That's just the bulgur wheat, and then because I don't have space, there's the lemon, and this is where the chopping board's gonna go in a moment. And I'm currently keeping all my vegetables and things over here. Makes perfect sense. And there's the sink, which is a disaster, but we'll deal with that at another point in time. So yeah, it's going well. Let's keep going. Okay. I've prepped 2 for now, and that's where we're leaving it. Now I just need to tidy everything. Yay! Hello. Once again, I am cold. But the problem is, it's not that cold, so I just don't feel like it justifies putting on the heating. I think I just need to get under the covers and cozy myself up that way, maybe with a hot drink or something. And generally, most of me is fine. It's my hands and my nose that gets very cold. Anyway, today I had quite a chill day. Even though I worked for a long period of time, I went to work a bit later intentionally, so I slept in the tiniest bit. Literally, I think about 20 minutes. But I got to work and we had stuff to do until I would say about 12. And then from 12 until supposedly 5, there wasn't that much to do. I had a couple of big tasks, but actually like, you know, at home, those big tasks didn't take as long as I was worried they would. And for the rest of the time, I had nothing to do. So I read so much. I started reading Beartown because it finally became available. I was meant to read this at the start of October with the Dear Hopefuls, and I told them to just go ahead without me because I could see that even though I'd placed my order like at the end of August, there was just a very long queue. So now that I've got it, I want to try and see if I can get it done before the end of the month, which we'll see. I also still have 100 pages of my other book, so, and they're both ebooks or, you know, physical. Anyway, we'll see. I'm a third of the way through Beartown, and as I said, I've still got 100 pages of Where Rainbows End. And I'm hoping that maybe Friday evening I can just like smash it out when I'm home after work. But anyway, that was really lovely. And then I went from job 1 to job 2. I did finish job 1 a bit early, so I went to job 2 a bit early, and luckily they'll pay me for that because I was taking over from someone who then got to leave early. Oh, actually, before I got to job 2, I got an email that was incredibly exciting. I'm not going to share too much about it right now, but I probably will tell you more information in due course. But it was a very unexpected email, and as a result, I'd hoped that at job 2, which I know is generally quite quiet, that I'd be able to read some more, but instead I was busy actually in part with things to do with that email, but also my colleagues were trying to chat a lot, which is fine, you know, they're probably bored too, but it meant that I didn't get to do any reading, and even doing that thing that I wanted to do for my email, I did get it done, but it took longer. But yeah, so pretty productive work days actually, although the rest of the week. Tomorrow, well, the rest of my daytime hours are going to be pretty busy, I imagine. And then tomorrow night I'm back at this other job, which again, I'm not expecting to be too busy, but it is only a couple of hours that I'm there. Thursday evening, I finish work late. I think I finish around 6. Not that it's, you know, terrible, and it's the local one, so I won't be home too late. But it will be, actually I might come home and do the last hour from home. And then Friday, this is the first Friday, I get to finish at 2, so that's very nice. But Shabbat does come in like at 4, so I'm not gonna have that much of Friday, but I can probably finish where rainbows end Friday afternoon or evening. So I just need to really try and use these evenings to read Beartown. I was gonna say to not watch YouTube. So I have now been watching YouTube while I was eating and, you know, getting ready for bed and all that. I've got such a long list of things to do. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, I had this long list and then I ended up having other stuff on for work, so I didn't get around to a lot of it. Some of it I was able to do at work today, which was nice, and I've made a new list, a revised list of things that I just want to get done in the next couple of days, you know, by the end of the weekend. So hopefully I can do some of those things in the next few days. I do have most of the weekend off, so that's good. But yeah, aside from that, I am just going to chill this evening and really try and get into Beartown a bit more. Because we knew that it might not work out with all of us reading at the same time, we also did a buddy read on Storygraph where you can, you know, like put comments and then they're hidden from the other readers until they've reached that point. And I think Katie Rebecca, somewhat actually, I don't know. The first locked comment is at 38% and I'm at 33%. So I want to see if I can at least get to that tonight. I want to know what the others have to say. I haven't even watched their Dear Hopefuls videos yet, so I'm curious. I'm very curious. And I do want to keep reading. It feels hard because it's such a big book. Well, it's not such a big book, but it's a bigger book than I like. But I do like the way it's written, and I do just want to keep reading. So I'm thinking about it, which I feel is a good sign. So yeah, I'm gonna get to bed, not to bed, but like in bed. And that's probably where the night is gonna go from here. So I will see you whenever I see you next. Yay! Hello, I've just walked in from work and it is late, it's 8:20, but I feel so good. Not terribly late, but like not a regular day of work. I think I mentioned yesterday about an email that brought me some joy, and that's still present. But then on top of that, today I've just made my first Vinted sale and I am ecstatic. So I told the person that bought it that I'm going to probably get it posted on Friday, I imagine, because I finished work early, which is lovely. And there's a drop-off place quite near where I work, so I'm going to try and just go straight after and do it. I am going to document that process in a different video though. I think I've mentioned before that I'm working on a decluttering video. It is more or less done, but I want to keep it going until I've listed all my items on Vinted, and that's taking a lot longer than I want it to, so I'm going to keep it all on that video, but I am very excited. And I just feel really good, like, in my skin. My hair has been causing me grief, although I managed to put it up like this without locking it, and actually I'm quite pleased. I have been reading so much. I didn't really have time at my first job today, but then I did at my second. And I'm just hooked, and I'm seeing it, and I want to, like, have it as a film or something that I can just continue watching. And I do think it's been turned into something. I think I saw on the poster that or in the cover, that it said something about HBO, so it must have been turned into something, but obviously I want to finish reading it first, and I'm only like 60% of the way through, so I've still got quite a bit to get through, hopefully in the next couple of days. But yeah, I'm feeling really, really good and just very happy. Things are going well right now. I'm gonna eat some food. I've got some leftover egg fried rice from last week, which I forgot about, and I saw this morning, so I'm gonna have that. And then if that's not enough, maybe I'll just have some toast on butter. Butter on toast. And then we did the laundry this morning. I did the laundry this morning. Oh, I had a call this morning. There was loads happening this morning, but I've got the laundry, so I need to fold that. But yeah, I'm just feeling really good, which is very nice. And I think I'd mentioned yesterday, maybe I didn't, I managed to upload a video, which was great. And then this morning I woke up early. My half day on Wednesday has now turned into a 12 o'clock start as opposed to a 3 o'clock start. So I've lost a lot more of that morning time, but I do still get a sleep in, which is nice. However, this morning I did have a slight sleep in. I think I woke up at 9 maybe? No, at 8. I woke up at 8. but that for me was a sleep in. And it then meant I had so many hours to do things. It was wonderful. So I started editing the next vlog, which is so nice. So yeah, can you tell I'm in a good mood, I'm feeling good. And I think I've just looked at the time, I might be able to call my grandparents. I'm gonna try and do that before it's too late for them. It might already be too late, but I'll give it a go. Yay, I'm happy. It's nice to be happy. This evening has been crazy, and I keep forgetting that I actually only got home, you know, close to 8:30, because I've done so much this evening. It's almost 11:10, and I think I'm going to be up at least for another 20-30 minutes because I need to check something. But this evening I've read quite a bit, I've watched some YouTube, I've eaten, I've edited, and now hopefully will upload a YouTube video. I've done some stuff for decluttering, I've organised the Vinted thing. I just feel like there's been a lot. I did something for the email that I keep talking about and being very vague about. Like, I've done a lot, and I don't feel that tired. I'll probably feel tired tomorrow, especially because then I'm also still having to get up early on Friday. But then I finish early on Friday, so that's nice. Oh yeah, I did the dishes. There were loads of dishes to do because I used a lot of Tupperware. I don't know if I told you about the meal prep I did the other day, but I used a lot of Tupperware, and then between me and Wayne we've been eating it, and so I've needed to put it away. And then I also had the cupcakes from the other day. It's fine, it's done, but I just feel like I've done a lot in very few hours actually. But I feel good, and that's always nice. But I am going to get into pyjamas now and just watch this one video that I've edited to make sure it's ready to go, and I think then I'm going to call it a night. So I will probably see you all tomorrow. Until then, hello, good evening. It's about 9:30, and what an evening I've had, and you know, I've still got time obviously. I stayed at work a bit late, but I knew that I was going to do that today. That's accounted for. I don't know if I've mentioned that already. I came home, I spoke to all my grandparents, which was really nice. And then I filmed some video, which actually, I should say I did a task that's been on my to-do list for a while, but the reason I hadn't done it was because I also wanted to turn it into a video, which you may have seen already by the time you're watching this. Maybe not. I need to look at my timeline of things. But filmed a video and did the to-do thing, which is great. Also uploaded a video and started editing another, which is all good. Had some supper, watched a bit of YouTube, and have been reading a lot. I started Beartown, I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before, but I'm 90% of the way through. Now, to be fair, I do feel the deadline of the end of the month, so I am like trying to read more, but also I cannot stop thinking about it. I will discuss it more in a Dear Hopefuls video, and I will also discuss it more in my July, what month are we in? October favourites, or reviews as they're now called. But my goodness, this book is really, really good, but so intense. Like, I can feel it in my heart, in my chest. Like, it's just, oh my goodness. And I was trying to read some of it at work, and it's not a book to read at work. But I was just sat for the last like half hour, maybe even an hour reading, and I'm so close to the end, and I do want to try and finish it tomorrow before Shabbat starts, but I just need a moment. So what I'm going to do, even though I'm already in pyjamas, is I'm going to shower and get back into pyjamas, just because I feel like I just want to clean myself. I just want to rinse. So I think I'm going to shower, maybe read a little bit more of this book, because I do just want to keep reading it, but also like, oh, and then probably watch like either Instagram or YouTube or just something a bit more lighthearted, just to help so that I can fall asleep tonight. My goodness, but it's such a good book. I do highly recommend it. It's just intense. I don't think I'll see you again tonight, and I don't even know if I'll have time to see you tomorrow, but I'll keep you posted when I can. Yay! Hello. I've just come in from work and I'm trying to decide. I am considering going for a run, which in my head makes me feel like I should just go, but equally I would love to just do nothing else but chill. Well, that's number one. And number two, I mentioned this like when I was running properly. Because I work locally, running locally feels weird to me. Well, it doesn't feel weird to run locally, but the idea of someone bumping into me, especially when my work is still like, where I'm working is still open. And I don't know, I just feel like really about it. But I've not gone for a run in a long time. But even if I don't run, I definitely want to try and do quite a lot of squats, because I still had this goal from the start of the year. And that goal already I know I won't reach, but I've sort of given myself another goal till the end of the year, and I would like to at least try and reach that. Just in terms of how many squats I do in a year, not anything else. But on my way home from work, I went to the shops and I got my food for, you know, supper maybe, or tomorrow night, or I don't really know. I just got some food. And one thing that's been on my list for a long time that I have time for now, and that I noticed as I was putting the food away, is to clean the fridge. It's not horrendous, but it's not as nice as I would like. So we're gonna do that in this vlog, and if you don't like food, or, well, if you don't like, you know, like, what's it called? I almost want to say like leftover food, but it's not that. If you don't like dirty things, don't watch it. If you like watching things be cleaned, do watch. And that's why I've thrown on this top. This is usually my hair washing top. It was a Matt Henry top that I got when I went to see him in Kinky Boots. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was a big deal. And the night we went to Stage Door, it was literally me, my cousin, and one other woman at Stage Door. And she was like, oh, are you here for the Matt Henry t-shirt? And we were like, what are you talking about? This is so irrelevant, but I'm gonna tell you. And she was like, oh, he posted, I can't remember if it was like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, but she said, oh, he posted that if you come out to Stage Door after a show, he'll hand out free t-shirts. And so me and my cousin were like, hell yeah, let's do it. We did love him in Kinky Boots, to be fair. But because I'm beyond that, not really that aware of Matt Henry or his like solo work, this doesn't hold a lot of like memories for me, but I do want to keep it. So this is gonna be my dirty task top for today. I might tie up my hair as well, we'll see. And it's gonna be awkward to angle you, I think. Maybe I'll grab a chair or something. Let's see what we do. Yay! Hello. This is our fridge. This is a slightly awkward angle, we're just gonna make do. The first thing I want to do is wipe this. This I've already tried, you can see. We've used this for various like scheduling and things, but we haven't in a while, and so it's quite old. And so I've tried, this is what it came with, but when I'm trying to do that, I don't know if you can see, it's not doing very much, you probably can't see. So I think I'm gonna spritz it. Let me show you actually what I've got with me to tackle this task. First of all, some gloves. I just feel we need gloves. Actually, I'll use those in a moment. Some antibacterial wipes, some J-Roll, blue roll, J-Cloth, a spray, and then this is like an old one that I'm just gonna use to begin with and then throw away. So let's start off with this. I feel like the best method is to just give it a spritz and see if that works. Well, that might not have been the best idea, in hindsight. I can always give it a wipe after. Let me grab some kitchen paper as well. Okay, that's worked better than I was expecting. Nice. So now it is time to open the fridge. Ta-da! It's actually not terrible, but the bottom section especially needs dealing with. Let me take all the cleaning supplies down. And then the plan is to put anything that I'm gonna throw or whatever on the top of the fridge, and then I'll wipe the top of the fridge at the very end. So that's a throw. That's actually not that old, but it's a throw. I'm gonna do this fast, I think. I'm gonna time lapse this. feel pretty happy about that. Actually, as I was washing up, I was thinking, you may have noticed that I have a lot of bottles with just water in the fridge. That's because I really like cold water and it's easier to do it that way than a jug. But the little bottles I kept for my running because I found them really useful when I was running. But seeing as I don't run that often, I could probably just leave one in the fridge and put the other two with my running stuff, and that way clear up just a little bit more space in the fridge. But we'll see. It definitely feels a lot like cleaner, and it didn't take that long. I think it was maybe 20, maybe 30 minutes. But it is now an hour before Shabbat, so I don't think I'm gonna go for a run, which maybe I'd intentionally planned. Not intentionally, unintentionally, subconsciously. But before I have some lunch, I am gonna force myself to do 30 squats. At least, you know, get some of them out of the way, maybe do more after lunch, we'll see, but at least do 30, get started, you know? But I don't think I'm gonna do that on camera. I'm just gonna listen to some music and bounce away, and then maybe try and do some YouTube stuff while eating before Shabbat comes in. So I will probably see you after Shabbat. Until then, hello. It is Sunday evening, around 8 o'clock, and it has been the chillest of chill weekends. It's been lovely. I did work a couple of hours this morning and I even stayed on, and work was very, very busy. But since I've got home, and even like because I was busy, it just went so quickly. And so it feels like that wasn't even today, to be honest. And yesterday was super chill. I just did nothing all day, stayed in my pajamas all day. It was lovely. And then today as well, like it's just been so wonderfully chill. It's been lovely. And I've caught up on so much editing. It's amazing. I'm so happy. But I'm now getting to the point of like December and New Year's, and I really want to try and change up the way my channel looks in 2026. I want to change like how I do thumbnails and stuff, and also my video editing and stuff, the fonts and all that. And so very soon, like this might be the last vlog you see of this year, which is crazy. So I really do need to get thinking about that. I also think aside from my November favorites, I don't think there's any other videos that will go up that are not vlogs and not Vlognica or New Year related, which is wild. In fact, even as I say, vlogs might not be, there might not be anything else. So on the one hand, that's crazy, and I do need to start thinking about like how I'm gonna make it all look. But on the other hand, it does make me very happy because I've been wanting to start on the new year or end of year stuff for quite a while. I love end of year stuff. And so now I feel like it's finally justified that I can start planning and properly actioning some of the things I want to do for Vlognica. So that's nice. But I do still have ideas for other videos that I want to make that are not vlogs. But it's good to have those like in the back of my mind, because I definitely go through phases where I lose not necessarily motivation, but I just don't have any inspiration. So I've got a long list in my bullet journal that I use to help keep track of these things, so that when I do feel like I've run dry, I can go there and see if there's something that I can make a video about. And usually what happens is December and January, maybe even into February, is just all like end of year videos, or like to do with the end of one year or the start of the next. So I think I'll be fine until then, which is nice, obviously. Like I like not having to be constantly busy with YouTube, and I definitely feel I need to take time away, even though the videos for you are consistent, and that's like my whole point. I want to keep the videos consistent, but I also want to be able to take breaks and sort of, what's the phrase, like replenish my well? I don't know if that's quite what I mean, but like I want the opportunity to like sit back and enjoy life and see, not that I don't enjoy life when I'm vlogging, but like experience things in a different way, see them slightly differently, and like be inspired in that way. Basically, I want my YouTube videos to be authentic and coming from a place of like, this is something I want to film, rather than I feel like I just need to film something. Which maybe you wouldn't believe based off some of the videos I have on a lot of the videos I have on my channel, but they're all things that I do want to share, even if no one cares. But I never want to make a video just for the sake of making a video. Anyway, ramble over. This might be the end of this vlog. It might not be. Maybe I'll take you with, depending how long this vlog is, I might take you with on Tuesday. Wayne and I are going to see The Weir. And before that, I want to try and get some freebies, because I have a couple to claim from my birthday. So I would love to try and vlog that whole evening. But I will vlog that whole evening. The question is it going to be in this vlog, or are you going to have to wait until potentially next year? We shall see, but that's where we're at. It's been a really good day, a really good weekend. It's felt like an actual weekend off, even though I've worked. I guess also having Friday, like I only worked a half day on Friday, so that probably helps as well with that mentality of like, oh, it's been super chill. But I am now going to prep my clothes and stuff for tomorrow. I've got a long day tomorrow. I've got a few long days actually this week, because tomorrow I'm doing a double shift, and then Tuesday obviously I've got the show, which is lovely, but it is a longer day. And then Wednesday, again, not necessarily doing a double shift, but an extended shift, so I don't think I finish till 7:15. And then Thursday is just going to be a regular day, I believe, and then Friday is Shabbat, and I'll probably be going to my grandmother's. Anyway, I will either see you in the next clip or next year, which is crazy. That's wild. Like, I'm filming this on the 3rd of November, 2nd of November. That's wild. Anyway, I will see you.